these standings, but make sure you guys are coming out each and every day from 4 to 6 to try your hand at the happy hour games.
Our mission is to serve the community. Pilot Games has given us the opportunity to provide those resources and so forth that we need to our schools, to our fire department, to our library, to organizations that help the hungry. All of those are all made possible by the Pilot Games organization.
Everyone, we love our specialty nights. You can check those out on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but they have been competing all season long already for these PGL standings.
Oh yeah, and in 10th place we got Tavern over at Claremont Pub with 222,430 points. 9th place is Deb Daniels over at HR Pesties with 227,395 points. 8th place is Jay Stads over at the Bird's Nest with 228,070 points. With 229,965 points in 7th place, we got Chapster over at Moe's. 6th place is Diesel over at Eagle St. James with 249,030 points. With 278,230 points in 5th place, we got Sloppy.
Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Will, and we are back for another happy hour broadcast. And as you guys know, we are live on all those Pilot TVs, the Pilot Player Connect app, pilotgames.com/PilotTV, YouTube Live, and on the Twitch app. Our channel name on both of those is MegaSota. So make sure you guys are getting enrolled and press and play. We got just about 30 seconds left until we are getting enrolled in this first game of Lucky for Bingo. So make sure you guys are getting enrolled and pressing play, because we got, after this first game of Lucky for Bingo, 23 games of Skull Bingo for you guys. But we have been recently installing a ton of new Pilot TVs at a bunch of new locations. We had a couple locations that just got them earlier this week. Starting us off, we had Municipal Liquor Store, Moose Lake, Sidewinders Bar, Polar Bar, as well as Roddy's Bar. So congratulations to all those locations getting all those shiny new Pilot TVs, and we wish you guys a little bit of extra luck in these games of Lucky 4 Bingo and Skull Bingo as well. But here we are dropping into this first game of Lucky 4 Bingo. We got balls starting to drop. Let's see where we are sitting. It looks like we are in line for this mega jackpot, but we are still got a decent lead on it. All right, we're gonna have to be perfect from here on out. We are going to be moving on past that to the major jackpot, but we are still in line for that. Let's see if we have to be perfect. Not quite. We will be moving on to that mini jackpot, but we are still ahead on this one. Now we're going to have to be perfect. Let's see if we can get it. Not quite. We will be moving on to a must-go prize of $2, but we've got Kayla, Stilly, PKCSTS, and BMW, all only 2 balls away. But we've been handing a bunch of jackpots out this week. We had 3 jackpots going out yesterday. But before we talk about this more, we got Waterworld winning $2 over at VFW St. Cloud. We got 12, 13, 72, and 69 are going to be our 4 lucky numbers. So make sure you guys keep those in mind as these games of Skull Bingo are coming up really quickly. We got about 4 minutes left till we'll be getting enrolled into those games. But we had a bunch of people taking home jackpots yesterday. We had 3 to be exact, making us 22 for the rolling week and 109 for Season 12 in total. You guys are really killing it, starting Season 12 off with a bang. And starting off our Thursday yesterday, we had Funk over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards, starting off the day, taking home $613. Next up, we actually had a double win by the same player. This one going over to Cam over at Max's on Main, taking home $1,155.75 on that first jackpot. And on the next jackpot, they took home $756.60. Good job to Cam and Funk, taking home some good money yesterday. But if you guys want to be taking home money and something other than our regularly scheduled bingo, you guys can always check out our e-tabs. We're currently listening to a little bit of Roaring 20s, but we just released a new e-tab yesterday, and you guys can check that out. It's called Lots of Loons. You guys can check out the Loons bonus and try and win the biggest prizes. It's a ton of fun. Make sure you guys are checking it out with Lots of Loons. And if you guys want to see a preview of that e-tab game, go give us a like and follow on our Facebook page. You just got to search up Pilot Games and you'll see our logo. That way you can see weekly bingo schedules, event details and reminders, big progressives, player pictures, so much more than that, including those e-tabs games when they're about to release. You can also click the website link on our Facebook page to see our link tree that has links to bar locations, all of our social media, and so much more. But that's not the only thing you can do on our Facebook page. If you guys ever have any questions or anything like that, you guys can always just put it right on the wall directly, or you guys can send it directly to us on Messenger or anything like that, and we'll be able to answer you guys super quickly. So make sure you guys are doing that if you guys have any questions about what's going on. But to keep you guys in the know, we always let you guys know what our daily/weekly bingo schedule looks like. We always start off our bingo days with a cup of Joe with Jordy. That starts off at 11:30 for you guys, running all the way till about 11:50, just 10 minutes before we go on air for Twins Bingo. During that time, a cup of Joe, we talk about all the analyticals and everything you guys want to look at for your bingo day. We'll look at all the progressives, every jackpot that you guys want to be going after. But right after that, going from 12 all the way till 1 o'clock, we have that Twins Bingo. Those are the 25-cent cards. We were unable to hand out that jackpot, meaning tomorrow it's going to be growing and rolling. It's already over $2,000. It started off the day at $2,396. But no matter what that jackpot amount is at, you guys can always take that home in 52 balls or less. Definitely some awesome stuff with our Twins Bingo running from 12 all the way till 1 o'clock. But that isn't the only bingo we've got going on throughout our day, because right after that, going on from 1 all the way till 4 o'clock, we've got our Jackpot Hunter 25-cent cards. You guys definitely want to check that out. That miner started off the day at a clean slate at $0 at 52 ball count. And that ball count clicks up 4 balls every $50 on that miner. Definitely something you guys want to check out. But we also had that mega that had recently clicked up in monetary amount as well as ball count. So make sure you guys are checking out our Jackpot Hunter 25-cent cards running from 1 all the way till 4 o'clock. But right after that, we get into what we're doing right now with that happy hour stream. It started off with that first game of Lucky 4 Bingo. Sadly, we were unable to hit that mega, that major, or that mini jackpot. But don't worry, after these 23 games of Jackpot Hunter, you guys will be getting, 23 games of Skull Bingo. You guys will be getting a second shot at that at 6 o'clock. But during these times, going from 4 all the way till 6, you guys are going after these Skull Bingo $1 cards. This is line prize, starting off the day at $231. You guys can take that home in 10 balls or less, as always. That large frame, starting off the day at $33,851. You guys can take that home in 43 balls or less. And that coverall prize is starting off the day at $47,401. And you guys can take that home in 50 balls or less. Definitely something you guys want to be making sure you're sticking around for with these 23 games of Skull Bingo. And it looks like we're getting into this first game right now. We're going to take a look at what this line, large frame, and coverall are going to be starting us off at. We just got to wait for these balls to start dropping. Let's see. And there we go. Line prize starting off at $317. Large frame, $33,942. And that coverall prize is at $47,498. So make sure you guys are paying attention. These games are going to go by super quickly. Right after these games of Skull Bingo and that last game of Lucky 4 Bingo, tonight you guys will be getting 4 hours uninterrupted of Skull Bingo. As you guys know, that coverall, you guys can, just in case any of those jackpots are, getting ready to go out, we'll have 4 more hours for you guys just so you guys get more chances. But there we go. We got Grandpa Bob over at Wildwood Tavern taking home $7 on that line prize. Good job to Grandpa Bob. But we were just talking about our Skull Bingo running from 6 to 10. If any of these line, large frame, or coverall jackpots don't go out, they'll be going all the way into these next 4 hours. That line prize, you can always take home in 10 balls or less. that large frame prize at 43 balls or less, and that coverall prize, you guys can take that home in 50 balls or less. But typically interrupting those 6 to 10 times of Skull Bingo, we do have our specialty nights, in which we have 2 of them a week. Starting us off, we have our first, which is the biggest gambling night of the week. It's a MegaSota game night. That starts off at 6:40 for you guys every single Tuesday. Tony and Nikki take the helm, win you guys through a ton of PGL action, including an extra game of Skull Bingo in case any of those progressives are getting ready to go out. But after everything's said and done, and after all of that PGL awesomeness, we have an extra game. This one being the tail end of everything. This one's the Jackpot Jungle Grand Finale. This one being the $1 edition. We're in 54 balls or less. You could take home $26,811. Definitely something you guys want to check out with our MegaSota game night. But if you guys happen to miss it, not to worry. It's not our only specialty night of the week, because the very next day, we've got our Twins Wednesday. And that goes on from 7 to 9 every single Wednesday. Ian and Jordan taking the helm this time, winning you guys through all that awesome PGL action, including some really fun high and low games where the biggest loser can win the biggest prizes. Definitely some awesome stuff. But after everything is all said and done, at the tail end of the night, they have a Jackpot Jungle Grand Finale of their own. This one being the 25-cent edition, where Mad Dog just recently won the other day. But in 52 balls or less, you can take home $1,000. That's right, that is already growing for you guys for next week. But here we go. We do have a winner. It's Irish Party over at Max's on Main, taking home $12 on that large frame prize. And we have switched over to an $18 must-go coverall for that coverall. But we got Jazz and another player only 1 ball away. So hopefully we can hand that out here soon. But before we hand out that jackpot, we do have a couple really awesome national days for you guys. But there we go. We're handing out that must-go coverall. It's going out to Granny over at Lyle Liquor, taking home $18 on that must-go coverall prize. Good job to all of our players in that first game of Skull Bingo. Definitely some awesome stuff as you guys start getting ready for game number 2. But as you guys are getting enrolled in Press and Play, we're going to go through some awesome national days. And starting us off, we actually have an international day, this one being International Traffic Light Day. Every year on August 5th, International Traffic Light Day highlights the importance of traffic lights. It's also the day that commemorates the installation of the very first traffic signal system. Definitely some awesome stuff. We're going to take a look at what that first traffic light looked like. And because, yeah, that seems pretty interesting. All right, first traffic light signal system. The world's first electric traffic signal is put onto place in the corner of Euclid Avenue and East 105th Street in Cleveland, Ohio on August 5th, 1914. That is crazy. It's been over 100 years of traffic lights. Let's take a look at what this thing looks like. Oh, that thing is a monster. It looks more like a street post than anything else, but it's like directly right in the middle of the road, like in between the lanes. That is some crazy stuff. But yeah, definitely some awesome stuff with that first traffic light that got installed in 1914. Definitely some awesome stuff. Next up, we have a interesting one. This one's a food holiday, and you might want to, depends on if your bar has some really good seafood, maybe you want to try it out. But this one is National Oyster Day. Get slurping on August 5th with National Oyster Day. Oysters are enjoyed as seafood in many parts of the world. Definitely some awesome stuff. We're going to look up some cool oyster facts and see what we can find. Before I looked up cool oyster facts, we did get a option for cool oyster names, but that's definitely some interesting stuff. But before we talk about them, we're going to look at these 10 interesting oyster facts. Let's see what we can get on this. All right, and starting us off, these are some facts that you might not know. Oysters can actually change their gender. One of the most interesting oyster facts is that oysters change their sex during their lives, starting as males and usually ending as females. The shape of the oysters vary and depend mainly on how the crowd about them in the bed as they develop. Yeah, definitely some interesting stuff. Next up, an oyster can filter 1.3 gallons of water per hour. Before we talk more about this cool fact, we do have balls dropping on this game. $411 on this line prize, $34,029 on this large frame, and $47,582 on this coverall prize. We have just clicked over to a $12 line prize on that one. And there we go. We got Dog over at the Square Deal taking home that $12 line prize, getting us ready for that $34,000 large frame prize. Definitely some awesome stuff. But yeah, an oyster can filter 1.3 gallons of water per hour. Oysters filter water throughout their gills and consume food like plankton in the process. oysters can maintain the balance of marine ecosystem by reducing excess algae and sediment that can lead to hypoxia or low oxygen levels, causing other marine life to die. The oyster population in Chesapeake Bay used to filter the entire water volume of the bay in just 3 days. That is crazy. Definitely some awesome stuff. But as you guys see, we still have balls dropping on this game of Skull Bingo. Looks like we're still going after this $34,000 large frame prize. We will be clicking over in it in a little bit, but we do have a couple of players only 5 balls away. Well, we have a couple more oyster facts for you guys, keeping you guys entertained until someone hits that jackpot. And next up, we have oysters are shaped by their beds. Once an oyster attaches to a bed, a surface occupied by a group of oysters, it grows and forms around the surface it attaches to, as well as the other oysters around it. That is really interesting. I didn't know that they just kind of like conform to whatever area they're in. But it looks like we will be switching to a $20 large frame prize on that one. But we still have that Musco at the tail end, and hopefully we can get this large frame out of the way so we can get that Musco. But next up, we do have pearls don't only come from oysters. All oysters are capable of producing pearls, but not the shiny, pretty pearls of value. In fact, most pearls are harvested from an inedible type of oyster, as well as from freshwater mussels. That's very interesting. I want to see what oysters we typically get our pearls from. But before we get into that, we have a winner. It's El Cow over at RJ's on 5th Avenue, taking home $20 on that large frame prize. And it looks like we're going after that $30 Musco coverall, with Grandpa Bob only 1 ball away. But we were just looking up which oysters do we get pearls from. But before we look that up, there we go. We got Grandpa Bob over at Wildwood Tavern, taking home $30 on that large frame, on that Musco coverall prize. Good job, Grandpa Bob, and all of our winners in that game number 2 of Skull Bingo. Definitely going by super quickly, but we were just looking up which oysters we get our pearls from. All right. So there are animals known as pearl oysters, which include species in the genus Pincata. The species Pincata maxima, called the gold-lipped pearl oyster or silver-lipped pearl oyster, lives in the Indian Ocean and from the Pacific from Japan to Australia, and produce pearls known as the South Sea pearls. Definitely some interesting stuff. I did not know that. But next up on our really cool oyster facts, we got another one for you guys. But before we get into it, you guys have just about 1 minute left to be getting enrolled into this next game of Skull Bingo. So make sure you guys are getting enrolled and pressing play. These prizes are going to go by super quickly, so make sure you guys are paying attention. But next up on our oyster facts, we have humans have been eating and cultivating oysters for thousands of years. Oysters have been eaten by humans since prehistoric times and cultivated at least since the times of the Roman Empire. The Roman Sergius Orata was the first person known to cultivate oysters by building a system that could control the water levels. That's some very interesting stuff. I'm guessing that's just how they were able to like harvest them easier. Definitely some really cool stuff. Next up on our oyster facts, we have most American oysters are of the same species. That one's pretty interesting. You get your oyster facts straight. Oysters harvested from the Gulf of Mexico, Chesapeake Bay, and off the coast of Virginia are all the same oyster, which is Crustacea virginica. This oyster species is native to the Gulf Coast and East Coast. However, this does not mean that they all taste the same. I actually didn't know that they would get different flavors off of that. Definitely some interesting stuff. But next up, we have Gulf oysters used to have different names. Other than Gulf oysters, you may have tried blue points or Quonset points. These are all the same species of oysters, but they're all named after specific locations where they are harvested. Once upon a time, Gulf oysters were also named after specific bays, but distributors started to group them all into the same category, and this may change again in the future, actually. So yeah, oyster names, I guess they're really just named based on like what area they're at, and it looks like it also goes a little deeper into that, where oysters actually get their flavors from the environment that they're at. But before we talk about that, we have player over at Monticello VFW taking home $13 on that line prize. Good job as we start working for this $34,000 large frame prize. But yeah, oysters actually get their flavor from the environment that they're in. Although most American oysters are the same species, they have different flavors. Because oysters filter so much water, they develop a flavor profile from their environment. Different bodies of water have varying levels of salt and different kinds of nutrients. So yeah, that's how each oyster can just kind of taste different depending on the area you get them in. And yeah, and it's kind of like wine actually when it gets more specific. And like wines, oysters have different variety of flavor profiles. So the flavor of oysters can be categorized mainly by the following flavor characteristics: briny, buttery, sweet, metallic, and mild. Experts can break down these flavors even further, picking out flavors like melon, cucumber, mushroom, and more. Keep this tidbit of oyster information in the mind next time you try an oyster on the half shell. That's some interesting stuff. But next up, and our last of our oyster facts, we have oysters are rich in vitamins and nutrients. Oysters contain a variety of vitamins and nutrients, including zinc, calcium, magnesium, protein, selenium, and vitamin A. They also contain especially high levels of vitamin B12, iron, and monounsaturated fat, the healthy kind, monosodium. I'm guessing it's the healthy kind of fat, which you also find in olive oil. Definitely some interesting stuff with all those oyster facts. So happy International Oyster Day. Oh, sorry, happy National Oyster Day. So if your bar is known for their seafood, maybe try out their oysters. And if not, maybe, I don't know, try 7-Eleven or something. That might be a good spot to get some oysters. Definitely some awesome stuff. But I have moved over to a $21 must-go large frame prize, as well as a $31 must-go coverall prize. And there we go. We got Gwen over at the Great River and Kim over at the Barrel House Bar that was splitting up that large frame prize. And on this coverall prize, we're handing it out to Viddy over at Municipal Liquor Store Akeley. Good job to all of our winners in that game of Skull Bingo. But I will be taking a quick break for these next couple games of Skull Bingo. So make sure you guys are having a blast. Make sure you guys are getting enrolled, and make sure you guys are press and play, because these prizes are not going with me. So make sure you guys are having a blast, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.
2,000 points in 7th place. We got Carboni's Pizza, CR Billiards in Coon Rapids. 6th place is our place on 3rd and Faribault with 63,000 points. With 105,000 points in 5th place, we got VFW Blaine. 4th place is Poppers in Virginia with 121,000 points. With 140,000 points in 3rd place, we got Corky's Bar South Haven. 2nd place is American Legion Fridley with 214,000 points. And with 227,000 points in 1st place, we got VFW Spring Lake Park.
That's some pretty impressive stuff already for the Season 12. Well, make sure you guys are coming out from 12 to 1, whether it be that Twins Bingo or Vikings Bingo, and try your hand at the Twiking Zone.
Hey guys, and we love our happy hour standings where you guys get to play a bunch of different games, a little bit of Lucky 4 bingo action, a little bit of Skull bingo action, and we got these standings right here.
Absolutely, and on the player side of things, we start off strong with a three-way tie in 10th between Wolfstein at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards, Crazy Kid at Tasty Pizza Hangar 45, and Jay Surma at Grumpy's Bar and Grill Roseville, all with 10,000 points. Next up, we have another three-way tie, this time in 7th place between Dustball 75 at Charlie Sports Bar and Grill, Tesla at Friends Bar and Restaurant, and Kirby at American Legion Fridley. All three of those players with 11,000 points. Then with 12,000 in 6th place, we got Lucky Ride over at South Street Saloon. 5th place is Chica over at Willie McCoy's of Andover with 13,000. Then with 15,000 in 4th place, it's Billany at VFW Blaine. 3rd place is O Lars over at Anamia Vets Club with 17,000. Then with 20,000 points in 2nd place, it's Brother Nate over at Carboni's Pizza and Sports Bar Burnsville. 1st place, though, is Funk over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards with 38,000 points.
Definitely a great player side to those standings. Into the location side, in 10th place, we got Dugout Bar and Grill in Bethel with 16,000 points. With 17,000 points in 8th place, we have a two-way tie between the Barrel House Bar and Cafe in Coon Rapids and Willie McCoy's of Andover. 7th place is Carboni's Pizza Sports Bar Burnsville with 19,000 points. With 23,000 points in 6th place, we got VFW Blaine. 5th place is Tasty Pizza Hangar 45 in Hilltop with 26,000 points. With 33,000 points in 4th place, we got the American Legion Fridley. Then in 3rd place, we got VFW Spring Lake Park with 44,000 points. With 46,000 points in 2nd place, we got Anamia Vets Club. And in 1st place, with a total of 80,000 points, we got Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards in Coon Rapids.
Wow, I love keeping track of these standings, but make sure you guys are coming out each and every day from 4 to 6 to try your hand at the happy hour games.
Our mission is to serve the community. Pilot Games has given us the opportunity to provide those resources and so forth that we need to our schools, to our fire department, to our library, to organizations that help the hungry. All of those are all made possible by the Pilot Games organization.
Hey everyone, we love our specialty nights. You can check those out on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but they have been competing all season long already for these PGL standings.
Oh yeah, and in 10th place, we got Tavern over at Claremont Pub with 222,430 points. 9th place is Deb Daniels over at HR Pesties with 227,395 points. 8th place is Jay Stads over at the Bird's Nest with 228,070 points. With 229,965 points in 7th place, we got Chapster over at Moe's. 6th place is Diesel over at Eagle St. James with 249,030 points. With 278,230 points in 5th place, we got Sloppy over at Malone's Bar and Grill. Fourth place is Burgar over at Rusty Nail Thief River Falls with 282,650 points. Third place with 286,880 points, we got Devoided over at the Roadside. Second place is Keeves over at Clearwater Corners with 345,205 points. With 367,335 points, finding themselves in first place, we got a big-time player, Forget You D, over at VFW Austin.
That is some big-time stuff, but on the location side of things, we start off in 10th place with Rusty Nail Thief River Falls with 825,545 points. With 845,790 points right ahead of them in 9th, it's LJ's in Miltona. 8th place now sits with Corner Pocket and Rice with 868,550 points. But with 904,320 points in 7th place, it's American Legion Fridley. 6th place sits with Billy's Rockford with 923,335 points. Then to the 1 million point club. 5th place sits with VFW Northfield with 1,170,665 points. With 1,354,820 points in 4th place, it's Miltona Liquor Store. 3rd place is Howie Sports Bar and Grill in St. Cloud with 1,512,980 points. With 1,643,255 points in 2nd place, it's Mabel Liquor Store. And in 1st place, last season's champions are holding strong as Poppers in Virginia is in 1st place with 1,665,140 points.
Definitely a great standings. Make sure you guys are signed up at pgl.world to make sure you guys can earn points on those PGL nights, as well as get a bunch of insider information, including a few things about PyCon. There it is, 53 balls.
Hey guys, what is going on? We are back for this next game of Skull Bingo. We've got just about a minute left to be getting enrolled, so make sure you guys are getting enrolled. Press and play, maybe grabbing that lucky rabbit's foot or anything else you guys got on you. So make sure you guys are getting ready for this next game. We want you guys to be as lucky as humanly possible, but we do have some national days to get into as you guys are getting enrolled to this next game of Skull Bingo. And next up on these national days, we had National Work Like a Dog Day. On August 5th, National Work Like a Dog Day urges us to charge forth and meet every challenge we face. However, if you look to your dog for direction, you may be confounded. Definitely some awesome stuff on National Work Like a Dog Day. So we're going to look that up and see maybe where it comes from and maybe anything else you're supposed to do during this day. All right, let's check it out. All right, so Work Like a Dog Day, celebrated on August 5th, honors people who put in that extra bit of hard work. This quirky day is inspired by the reputed strong work ethic of canines, especially those service dogs. Definitely some awesome stuff. But yeah, working on a dog, obviously, some awesome stuff. So we're going to look at some of the, we're going to look up an interesting one. We're going to look up some of the worst jobs that Mike Rowe had to do. Let's see. All right, but before we get into that, we do have a winner. It's Frex over at Chanticleer Pizza, Coon Rapids, taking home $888 on that line prize. Good job to you, Frex. That's some awesome stuff as we start working for this $34,000 large frame prize. Definitely some awesome stuff. Good job to Frex. But we were just looking up some of the, we actually have the top 30 worst apparent jobs in the world. So we're going to take a look at that, just to honor Work Like a Dog Day, honor some of those people that are doing all that hard work. First up, we got telemarketer. Telemarketers get paid to make cold calls to the general public in order to sell various products and services. Most people, as you guys know, are too fond of telemarketers. So yeah, that could definitely make that job a lot harder. Next up, we have a cleaner. Definitely makes a lot of sense. You got to be cleaning up other people's stuff. Definitely not a great job to be doing. But you got to love and respect those cleaners. They are doing a ton of work, especially work that you aren't wanting to do. They're often mistreated in the workplace and often end up doing horrendous tasks. Unfortunately, many in-house cleaners are also taken advantage of by their bosses and are not given fair wages. To get on in this job, you need to have thick skin and to be comfortable to say no when needed. Next up, and due to a lot of those long hours, we have a trucker. Besides the fact that you're driving a truck is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, it's also one of the hardest. It can get quite boring and lonely on the long trips up and down the highway, and many consider it a hard profession to move up in. Next up, though, we have social worker. People who choose a career in social work are often faced with awful and demoralizing situations. Definitely some very rough stuff. Next up, customer service advisor. Yep, you're dealing with all that customer service. You're getting yelled at, and most people when they're going to see customer service aren't, going to say anything too happy. But we do have a winner. It's 69BLT over at Lookout Bar and Grill, taking home $34 on that large frame prize. Good job as we start working for this $51 must-go coverall prize. And next up on these hardest jobs, we have a miner. Coal mining, one of the most despised careers that can greatly affect workers' health. Miners are known to have considerably short life expectancy as they work in incredibly dusty and toxic environments. They're also at great risk of a gas explosion or even tunnels collapsing. Definitely makes that a lot harder. But we do have a couple winners on this must-go coverall prize. We got JDog222 over at American Legion Fridley, and we have O'Bread over at Vic's Bar and Grill Moorhead. They'll be splitting up that $51 must-go prize. Good job to all of our winners in that game of Skull Bingo as we start getting ready for the next one. But as we're getting into this next game, we're looking at some of the more harder jobs. And next up, we were just looking up at a slaughterhouse worker. Yep, definitely makes a lot of sense. It's not a job for the faint of heart. Yeah, you're working with a lot of animals and everything like that in a mostly not too fun situation. Next up, we have promotional mascot. This one can be very difficult. There was like 1 or 2 times that I put on the little mascot thing that we had at my water park, and you can't see a thing out of those. It gets really warm, especially in an indoor water park, and so I can understand how that would be very rough. But anyways, the worst of the hardest jobs in the world wouldn't be complete without promotional mascots. Whether it's dressing as some very odd things, or just being a just like dressing as an animal. It definitely has a lot of hours. You're bound to attract attention and usually ridicule or bullying. Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff that makes that job a lot harder. Next up, we have traffic warden. Traffic wardens are strongly hated amongst the general public. I mean, who likes getting a parking ticket? Their day-to-day lives involve a lot of abuse and shouting, so you'll need to have thick skin to be able to do this job. People who work as traffic warden say that you get verbal abuse all the time, but you really try not to take it personally, because obviously you're just trying to do your job. But before we get into these next couple hard jobs, and this one might actually be a bad one, we do have only about 15 seconds to get enrolled into this next game of Skull Bingo. Make sure you guys are getting enrolled in Press and Play, grabbing that Lucky's Rabbit Foot, or anything else you guys have on you. But we have another one of these bad jobs. And this one it's kind of getting me a little. This one is a pet food taster. I didn't know that was a thing. Although some people actually enjoy eating pet food for a living. Some people do, I guess. It's fair to say that most of us are repulsed by it. This job involves eating really bad batches of animal products and comes with the risk of severe food poisoning. To be successful in this role, you'll need a highly developed palate and the presence of mind not to swallow anything but your pride. That one's something else. I don't know if that would be something that I would be able to do, but yeah, definitely a hard job out there. Next up on our hard jobs list, we do have one that is also pretty bad on there. We got portable toilet cleaner. These brave workers, bold for brave. But before we continue with this next one, we got Seekin over at Miniger Sports Hub taking home $12 on that line prize. Good job. But we were just talking about being a portable toilet cleaner. These brave workers tackle cleaning portable toilets on a daily basis. Using a tank and vacuum wand, cleaners must suck up all the waste in the portable toilet. And yeah, definitely a rough job. Next up, roadkill collector. Yep, definitely a hard job out there. Let's see what else. Sewer cleaning. Definitely a hard job, as you guys can guess. Yeah, you got to inspect it, clean it, everything like that. Crime scene cleaners, definitely a lot of stuff that you guys are going to be dealing with there. Next up, though, fast food cook. Makes a lot of sense because those are fast-paced. It's way too warm in there, and I never did fast food, but yeah, I know a lot of friends who did, and everything, it all mostly just kind of goes back to the same thing, where it's just really quick work, and it just kind of just doesn't seem to be worth it. Definitely some awesome stuff. Fast food workers, definitely a hard job out there. Next up, we have a paint dry watcher. I didn't know these folks literally watch paint dry for a living. The purpose is to check how the color and matte and emulsion changes over time and to make sure that they are durable. I mean, what can be more boring than staring at a blank wall for hours? Definitely some interesting stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Next up, and it looks like this one is a very interesting one, being part of the Queen's Guard. Guard duty at Buckingham Palace is regarded as one of the worst jobs in the British Army, according to military documents obtained by the Telegraph. Next up, pest control officer. Definitely a hard one out there, especially dealing with all those pests. Being a logger, one of my friends did logging and tree removal for a long time. He had to stop because he had an injury involved with a chainsaw. Definitely some interesting stuff. But we do have a winner on this large frame prize. It's 2A Girl over at Jimmy G's Bar, taking home that $20 on that large frame. And there we go. We got Player over at Whitey's Bar, taking home $30 on that must-go coverall prize. Good job to all of our players in that game number. Whew, dang, that was quick. That we are already on game number 8. That is some crazy stuff. But yeah, we were just talking about being a logger. Definitely hard work. And yeah, climbing those trees and everything, definitely a hard job. Next up, though, we have taxi driver. Taxi drivers, Uber, Lyft, all of it. A lot of the people that you're going to be picking up, you're dealing with like traffic jams, working unusual hours with low pay. They endure a lot of unfavorable conditions. They also often need to deal with rude or unruly customers who also contribute to the high stress levels associated with this job. Plus, your physical integrity could also suffer due to the elongated periods of sitting and potential traffic accidents. Definitely some interesting stuff, especially when you're dealing with people who are possibly inebriated or anything like that. It's not a good time. Next up, retail sales associate. Anytime you're dealing with like you really do need excellent customer service skills. Anything with customer service, you really almost have to have like a mask on, so you can't really like Even like facial expressions and anything like that, that can get you in trouble when you're doing the customer service. But yeah, definitely a lot of hard stuff. Next up is odor tester. This one's very interesting. I'm not sure exactly. Getting a whiff of bad body odor can make most of our stomachs turn, but odor testers spend days sniffing people's armpits, breath, and feet. Depending on the company you work for, you could also be testing the fragrance of scented candles, packaged food, and perfume. According to an article, on a good day, you might be testing the smell of a new frozen dinner after it's cooked. On a bad day, you might be testing the effectiveness of a new deodorant, which means you could be smelling quite a few armpits. Definitely an odd job out there. They even have a lot of crazier jobs out there, including roofing. You're spending all that time out on the sun. Definitely a lot of hard stuff. But yeah, roofer was the last one on that list. So if you guys saw your job on there, special congratulations to you. You are doing a ton of hard work out there, and we appreciate everything you guys are doing every day just to make our lives a little bit easier. So we wish you guys a little bit of extra luck in this next game of Skull Bingo, where we actually have balls dropping on it right now. We got that line prize sitting at $211, that large frame at $34,480, and that coverall prize is sitting at $47,923. So make sure you guys are paying attention, because we only have about 3 balls left until this line prize is switching to a must-go. But we do have one more national day for you guys. This one is a bit of an interesting one, but we have clicked over to a $13 line prize. We got a couple players 1 ball away. But we do have this last national day to get into for you guys, and this one is National Underwear Day. On August 5th, National Underwear Day provides an opportunity to wear your favorite undergarments. Whether it's boxers, briefs, panties, tighty-whities, no matter what you call them, our underthings provide a layer of comfort. And yeah, there's some people that I guess go commando, but hey, yeah. Happy National Underwear Day. But we do have a couple winners. We got Player over at Liar Liquor, his and hers over at Dick's Bar and Grill. They'll be splitting up that $13 line prize. Good job to both those players. But we just finished up those national days. We just had National Underwear Day, National Work Like a Dog Day, National Oyster Day, as well as International Traffic Light Day. So happy national days to all those. But we were just getting into a little bit of Twins news, and the Twins are currently 55-50. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit a 3-run homer. Teoscar Hernandez homered for the second straight day, and the Toronto Blue Jays cruised to a 9-3 win over the Minnesota Twins on Thursday night. Definitely some sad stuff to see, although Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he's just like his dad, just hitting bombs all the time. Definitely some, I guess, happy to see that continuing on. But as you guys know, the Twins will be playing today against the Blue Jays again at 7:10 for you guys. We're going to look up the rest of the series just to see what else is going on with that. All right, so let's just take a look at some of their games that they have coming up. All right, so it looks like we are now in this 4-game series with the Blue Jays. We got that game coming up at 7:10 for you guys tonight. They'll be playing again tomorrow at 6:10. And then on Sunday will be the last game of the series. So hopefully we can maybe get a 3-1 in this series. But that last game will be on Sunday, August 7th. And that'll be at about 1:10 for you guys. But there we go. We got Landan over at Boulder Tap House Baxter taking home that $21 Must-Go large frame prize. And there we go. That Must-Go coverall prize has gone out to Fast Phil over at the Barrel House Bar and Cafe, taking home $32 on that Must-Go coverall prize. Good job to all our winners in that game of Skull Bingo as we start getting ready for the next one. We were just talking about our Twins and everything and what they got going on in their season. We just talked about everything they got going on for these next couple games. So hopefully we could see them getting a couple wins and finishing off that series strong. But if you guys want to continue to support their Twins in their season, as you guys know, we've teamed up with the Minnesota Twins for the ETAP game Twins Win. You guys can play that today wherever Pilot games are played. And check out that Home Run Derby bonus round. It is definitely a blast. But we just have about a minute and 30 seconds to be getting enrolled into this next game of Skull Bingo. Make sure you guys are getting enrolled, pressing play, grabbing that Lucky's Rabbit Foot, or anything else you guys have that's lucky. As we start getting into a little bit of these Twiking Zone standings, you guys can earn points for the Twiking Zone whenever you guys play our lunchtime bingo, whether it is Twins Bingo or Vikings Bingo. And we created the Twiking Zone by combining the Twins and the Vikings, and there we go, Twikings. But with these standings have been pretty crazy recently, but just recently these player standings actually haven't budged at all over this last day. Starting us off on the player side of the standings, in 10th place, we got Juicy Loser over at VFW Columbia Heights with 30,000 points. In 9th place, it's T-Bone over at Poppers with 33,000 points. In 8th place, we have Caribou over at Cooper's Restaurant with 44,000 points. In 7th place, we have Tez over at Poppers with 47,000 points. In 6th place, it's Red over at American Legion Fridley with 71,000 points. In 5th place, we got Nan over at Corky's Bar South Haven with 77,000 points. In 4th place, it's Mikey Wins over at Steve-O's with 81,000 points. In 3rd place, closing in on that 100,000 point club, we got Sinbob over at Corky's Bar South Haven with 92,000 points. Shortly ahead with only a 1,000 point lead, we got 2nd place Scrub Eye, who was over at VFW Blaine, currently with 93,000 points. We saw him getting wins earlier today as well as Sinbob, so we'll see what those point totals turn into. But in 1st place, holding on to that spot for a little while now, we have 1st place Loser Dave, who's over at VFW Spring Lake Park with 100,000 points. The only player in that 100,000 point club currently. So awesome stuff. Good job to all of our players in those standings. You guys have definitely started season 12 off right and are definitely carrying all of your guys' locations right into those top 10s. But before we get into those top 10s of those location standings, we do have balls starting to drop on this game of Skull Bingo. We're starting off with that $272 line prize, $34,528 large frame, and that $47,956 must-go coverall prize. Make sure you guys are getting it ready for this game. These are going to go by super quickly. But on the location side of our Twiking Zone standings, in 10th place, starting us off, we got Roosevelt Bar in Eveleth with 33,000 points. In 9th place, it's Floppy Crappie in Pokegama Township with 35,000 points. In 8th place, we have Miniature Sports Hub in La Crescent with 60,000 points. Definitely a large gap there. Shortly ahead in 7th, we have Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards in Coon Rapids with 62,000 points. In 6th place, only about 1,000 points ahead, we have our place on 3rd in Faribault with 63,000 points. Before we continue with these standings, we do have a couple line prize winners with Mateo over at Vic's Bar and Grill Moorhead and Grandpa Bob, Vic's Bar and Grill Victoria and Grandpa Bob over at Wildwood Tavern. They'll be splitting off that $12 line prize. But continuing on with our standings and starting us off in 5th place and the start of our 100,000 point club, we have VFW Blaine with 108,000 points. In 4th place, it's Poppers in Virginia with 125,000 points. In 3rd place, we come up to Corky's Bar South Haven, currently sitting with 158,000 points. In 2nd place, it's American Legion Fridley, kicking off that 200,000 point club with 214,000 points. And in 1st place, holding on to that spot for a little while now, we have VFW Spring Lake Park with 235,000 points. Good job to all of our locations in those standings, and good job to all of our players supporting those locations. Definitely some awesome stuff. But as we are working on this large frame prize, if you guys ever want to switch away from our regularly scheduled bingo, we have a ton of ETAB games that you guys can check out. Right now, we're listening to Roaring 20s. It is our time travel themed ETAB game. You start off in the 1920s, and you can time travel all the way to 2020. The music even changes along with it, and it even has a built-in Extreme Lounge right in the game. Definitely some awesome stuff, but if it isn't quite your thing, we do have over 50 different charitable ETAB games and counting. You guys can play anytime to win huge prizes up to $1,500. All these games have small bets between 50 cents and $5, and they all have awesome bonus and free play rounds, and they all have that 85% payout rate, which is definitely some awesome stuff. But here we go. We got Duke Coop over at Moe's Mounds View, taking home $20 on that large frame prize. Good job to that player. Definitely some awesome stuff. But yeah, make sure you guys are checking out all of our ETAB games. There is definitely one for each of you guys out there. There's at least, yeah, so many different themes. It's crazy. But there we go. We got Popcorn over at Unwinded, as well as Max over at Big Louie's Bar and Grill New Brighton. They'll be splitting up that $30 must-go coverall prize. Good job to all our winners in that game of Skull Bingo. Definitely some awesome stuff. But we do have just a little bit of music history to get into. And kicking us back all the way till 1975, the first all-female hard rock band is formed when producer Kim Fowley puts together the Runaways, featuring Joan Jett, future Bengal Michelle Steele, and Lita Ford. Definitely some awesome stuff. All the way in 1975, we're going to take a look at the Runaways, see what all that they released, because that is definitely some really cool stuff. I really like looking at some of these bands that got formed just before their other bands made it big. Definitely some awesome stuff. So we're going to look at the Runaways real quick, see all that they were putting out and anything else. All right. So we're going to take a look at some of these songs real quick. All right, so starting us off in their first album, we had Dead End Justice, You Drive Me Wild, and a couple of their other albums. They had Wasted, Queens of Noise, I Want to Be Where the Boys Are, I Love Playing with Fire. I mean, who doesn't? It's fire. But School Days, California Paradise, Neon Angels, On the Road to, hold on, that's a, On the Road to Ruin. Okay, I'm going to have to take a look at that song. That one sounds like a pretty good song. But make sure you guys are getting enrolled and press and play into this next game of Skull Bingo. We have just about 30 seconds until balls are going to start dropping. So make sure you guys are getting enrolled, press and play, and getting everything you need to be a little bit lucky. But we were just talking about the Runaways. We were looking at some of their stuff that they did. And it looks like the reason that they actually disbanded was because Joan Jett later on went to go and do her own solo career, and yeah, ended up being very successful on that as well. Definitely some awesome stuff with the Runaways. The Runaways being formed in 1975. Next up on our music history, we have 2017. Sam Hunt's "Body Like a Back Road" lands at number 1 on the country chart for the 25th week, breaking the record previously held by Florida Georgia Line's Cruise. Yeah, that one was there for a while. Everyone remembers when Cruz was playing for a long time. I actually don't know the song "Body Like a Back Road," but it doesn't sound like that would be a good thing. I don't know if someone would take that as a compliment necessarily. But yeah, definitely some awesome stuff. Sam Hunt, I'm pretty sure he's a very popular country artist now. Definitely some awesome stuff with 2017. But we do have balls dropping on this game of Skull Bingo. We've moved over to a must-go line prize. And there we go. We got EDB and Double Trouble. EDB is going to be over at Pete's Inn. And Double Trouble is over at Mabel Liquor Store. They'll be splitting up that $12 line prize. Definitely some awesome stuff. But as you guys know, we do have those 2 PGL specialty nights throughout the week. The first of which is MegaSota Game Night. We're starting off at 6:40 for you guys every single Tuesday. And then the very next day, we've got TwinsWinsDay. It runs from 7 to 9 every single Wednesday. You guys can always come out, take home some money during that. But if you guys want to be earning points for our elusive PGL standings, you got to make sure you're signed up at pgl.world and become a member of our league. PGL players compete for points, and they have access to insider information, which includes a monthly newsletter that has a ton of great information in it. But not only that, when you guys sign up at pgl.world, you'll be getting you guys will be getting the registration that you guys need to be signing up for PyCon. And PyCon 2022 will be happening on Thursday, September 15th. We will be going back to the Ledge Amphitheater in Wake Park. We had such a great time out there with you guys last year. This year's special musical guest will be none other than the legendary ZZ Top, selling over 50 million records. These Rock and Roll Hall of Famers will be playing all their hits at a very special private event just for you guys. So make sure you guys are coming on out and hearing about all the great new products and games from Pilot Games. You guys can meet with legislators and hear some great tunes. Registration will be free for players and is required for entry. So make sure you guys are staying tuned to those emails that you signed up with at pgl.world. But if you're getting a little antsy and you guys want to sign up for PyCon now, you guys can always head to pilotgames.com/PyCon and you guys will be able to sign up there. Registration is live now. So don't run anyone over. No trampling, nothing. But get on over to those cell phones. Make sure you guys are signing up for that PyCon. It's going to be some awesome stuff. Can't wait to meet you guys all out there. But we do have a winner. It's none other than Sarah Honey over at Eagles Austin, taking home that large frame prize of, we had another winner, so give us a sec. We're taking home that large frame prize of $19. And there we go. We got Player over at Howie's Sports Bar and Grill in St. Cloud, taking home that $29 Musco coverall prize. But before we get into this next game, I will be taking a quick break for these next couple ones. So I will be right back, and I'll see you guys in just a sec.
We're at the Ledge Amphitheater in White Park, Minnesota.
I saw the Blues Brothers 2 years ago with these guys.
Blues Brothers 2 years ago was a lot of fun. Prior to that, it was the Beach Boys, and with John Stamos, it was awesome.
I have never been to a PyCon event before. This is my first time, and I am loving it.
Yeah, this is incredible. We pulled in, parked, got some free beers, amazing free food.
Famous Days!
Hey everyone, Famous Dave here, smoking up the best ribs in America.
Having a great time so far. We got a picture with John Randall. It's pretty awesome.
John Randall is like my favorite.
Skol, 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 baby!
Really cool seeing John Kriesel. Really cool listening to him talk and his story.
This is my first PyCon, and I've had a blast.
Willie is my favorite.
I'm excited for Willie Nelson.
I grew up listening to Willie Nelson my whole life.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Have a really nice day!
The entertainment, the people watching, cocktails, t-shirts.
Drink and eat and be with everybody.
Fabulous experience. Either way, I don't know why you would miss this. That's all I gotta say.
He said we're making sure to come every year.
Get your butt here, man. Get your butt here.
Hey guys, over the past weekend, we ended up giving out 9 jackpots over the weekend, and that is an awesome, awesome weekend in Season 12, and I can't wait to talk about these winners.
Oh yeah, but the first one that went out on Friday went out to Rondo over at Patrick's on 3rd, taking home $845.10.
Nicely done. Next up, we had Gio on Friday over at Bleachers, taking home $1,195.
Yeah, good job. We also had Hooey over at Outtakes, taking home $1,120.
That's right, and then Saturday got started off right with the largest jackpot of the weekend, going out to Bliss over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards, taking home $6,175.
Then we had Why Not Me Q over at Boulder Tap House Rochester, taking home $924.
Nicely done. And then finishing out Saturday, we had Teresa Jim over at Chanticleer Pizza Maple Grove, taking home $765.
Well, to start off Sunday, we had Betty over at Manana Hilltop Tavern, taking home $3,789.
Nicely done. Next up, we had Rox Jim over at Adagio's, taking home $886.
Yeah, and the final jackpot of these lovely 9 jackpots we gave out was Vicky over at Ottertail Supper Club, taking home $1,822. And make sure you guys come out for our live bingo that runs from 12 all the way till 10 o'clock, 7 days a week. We love giving out these jackpots, and hopefully we can see your name get added to this list. Hey guys, and we love our Twins bingo that runs during lunchtime from 12 to 1 every single day. And we have a crazy standings with all those players that have been earning points during that lunchtime.
Absolutely, so hopping right into the player standings. In 10th place, we got Juicy Loser over at VFW Columbia Heights with 30,000 points. Then in 9th, we got T-Bone over at Poppers with 33,000, but with 44,000 points. In 8th place, we have Caribou over at Cooper's Restaurant. 7th place sits with Tez over at Poppers with 46,000, but with 71,000 points. In 6th place, it's Red at American Legion Fridley. 5th place sits with Nan over at Corky's Bar in South Haven with 76,000 points. Then in 4th place, it's Mikey Wins over at Steve-O's with 81,000 points. But with 84,000 points right ahead of him in 3rd place, it's Sin Bob over at Corky's Bar in South Haven. Second place sits was Grub-Eye over at VFW Blaine with 93,000. And then with 94,000 in first place, it is Loser Dave.
Yeah, definitely a great player standings. But into the location side, in 10th place, we got Roosevelt Bar in Eveleth with 33,000 points. With 35,000 points in 9th place, we got the Floppy Crappie over at Pokegama Township. 8th place is Miniger's Sports Hub in La Crescent with 45,000 points. With 62,000.
Hey guys, what is going on? We are back for this next game of Skull Bingo. We were just talking about the awesome PGL, how you guys can join. And if you guys visit pilotgames.com/PyCon, you guys can sign up and register for PyCon. But we had a couple players that just recently signed up for our PGL, so we're going to give them a little shout out, see if we can give them a little bit of extra luck, and see if we can't get them on those elusive PGL standings. Starting us off for those players that signed up, pardon me, we had Keels, Mom, Mike Chewy, Stein, 1380, Roland, Rosie, A Kite 1380, Chloe 7, Camp Girl, Crazy Eyes, Gypsy, Gage, Lilo 7411, D Maccabee 33, Bezzy 72130, as well as PCS Sportsman. Congratulations to all of those players signing up at the PGL. Make sure you guys are getting enrolled and pressing play, though we got about 3 seconds left to get enrolled. So make sure you guys are getting enrolled, pressing play, because we have balls starting to drop in just a second. But congratulations to all those players signing up at our lovely PGL. But as we have these balls starting to drop on this game, we're going to go over some of the players that were able to win while I was away. Kicking us off in that game number 10, we had, starting off on that line prize, it went out to player over at Lyle Liquor and his and hers, taking home $13 on that large. And on that large frame prize, we had Landon over at Boulder Tap House winning $21. Last up on that coverall prize, though, we had Fast Phil over at the Battle House Bar and Cafe winning $32. But before we get more into it, we got a couple winners taking home that line prize. We got a player and D Born over at 12, player over at Up the Creek Grill, and player over at Brickyard Bar and Grill. They'll be splitting up that $300 line prize. Good job to all those players getting us ready for this $34,000 large frame prize. But continuing on with these players that were winning in these games, on that game 10, line prize, Grandpa Bob, Wildwood Tavern, and Mateo, they'll be splitting up $12. That large frame went out to Duke Coop over at Moe's, winning $20. And that coverall went out to Max over at Big Louie's Bar and Grill, and Popcorn over at Unwinded, splitting up $30. Game 11, we had that line win go to Double Trouble over at Mabel Liquor Store and EDB over at Pete's Inn, winning $18. Next up on that large frame prize went out to Sarah Honey over at Eagles Austin, winning $19. That coverall prize went out to player over at Howie Sports Bar, winning $29. Next up on that game number 12, we had that line win go out to Irish Party over at Max's on Main, and player over at Sidetracks, winning $428 on that line prize. Definitely some awesome stuff, making that the third line prize we've handed out tonight. Definitely some awesome stuff. That large frame went out to Burke and Wild Boris over at Wild Boris Sports Bar, and one away over at American Legion Fridley, and Ports over at Log Cabin Bar, winning $25 on that large frame. And then that coverall on that game 12 went out to Tom over at VFW with Seika, winning $37. On this most recent game of Skull Bingo, though, that line win went out to Grandpa Bob over at Wildwood Tavern, $14 on that one. Good job, Grandpa Bob. That large frame went out to Ports over at Log Cabin Bar. Emily winning $22, and that coverall went out to Port at Log Cabin Bar and Bar Emily, and one away over at American Legion Fridley. They won $22 on that one. Definitely some awesome stuff. But there we go. We got that large frame prize going on to C Butch over at the Well, taking home $24 on that large frame prize. And there we go, C Butch over at the Well, taking home that Musco coverall, taking home $36 on that one. Good job getting us ready for this very next game of Skull Bingo. Definitely some awesome stuff. You guys definitely want to be making sure you guys are getting ready for this next one, because we still have that large frame and that coverall prize moving on to the next game. We were just talking about our elusive PGL standings, and we're going to talk about our players really quick, because we only have 2 players in these standings that were able to keep their spots. Starting us off in 10th place. Previously in 9th place, we have Tavern over at Claremont Pub with 222,000 points. In 9th place, Previously in 10th, we have Deb Daniels over at HR Pesties with 227,000 points. In 8th place, previously unranked, jumping into these standings, we have Jay Stads over at Bird's Nest with 228,000 points, only about a 1,000-point lead from 9th place. In 7th place, one of the only players keeping their spots, we got Chapster over at Moe's with 229,000 points. In 6th place, previously in 5th, we got Diesel over at Eagle St. James with 249,000 points. In 5th place, previously in 4th, we got Sloppy over at Mullins Bar and Grill with 278,000 points. In 4th place, previously in 3rd, we have Bergar over at Rusty Nail Thief River Falls with 282,000 points. In 3rd place, previously in 2nd, we have Devoided over at Roadside with 286,000 points. In 2nd place, though, previously in 6th place, jumping all the way forward from 6th, we have Keeves over at Clearwater Corners with 345,000 points. Definitely a lot of points they accumulated during our PGL night. And in 1st place, the 2nd player to keep their spot, we have Forget You D, who's over at VFW Austin with 367,000 points. Good job to all of our players in those standings. Definitely doing some awesome stuff and helping out all your locations. But we have 5 seconds left to get enrolled to this next game. Make sure you guys are getting enrolled and press and play. These games are going to go by super quickly, especially these prizes, because we've already handed out 3 line prizes tonight. They've gone by super quickly. Let's see what these prizes are going to be looking at for this game. Starting us off on that line prize, it's going to be starting off at $11 for you guys. That large frame is at $34,841. And that coverall prize is starting off at $48,184. Make sure you guys are ready, because this stuff is going to go by super quickly. But we were just talking about our PGL standings, and we just finished up with the player side of our standings. And on the location side of things, it is looking just about the same thing. A ton of switch-ups, including 3 locations coming in from outside of the standings. But before we get into our location side of these standings, we have Ports over at Log Cabin Bar Emily taking home $11 on that line prize. Good job to you, Ports. But we are still working on this large frame prize of $38,841. Make sure you guys are paying attention. It's going to go by super quickly. But while you guys are going after that jackpot, we're going to go over these location standings for the PGL. In 10th place, previously in 7th, we have Rusty Nail Thief River Falls with 825,000 points. In 9th place, previously unranked, we have LJ's in Miltona with 845,000 points. In 8th place, also previously unranked, we have Corner Pocket and Rice with 868,000 points. In 7th place, the last location jumping in from outside of the standings, we have American Legion Fridley with 904,000 points. In 6th place, it's Billy's Rockford with 923,000 points. In 5th place, we start kicking off our 1 million point club, meaning all these locations on forward are in at least that million point club. Kicking us off in 5th place, we have VFW Northfield with 1,170,000 points. In 4th place, we have LJ's in Miltona, we have Miltona Liquor Store with 1,354,000 points. In 3rd place, we have Howie's Sports Bar and Grill in St. Cloud with 1,512,000 points. In 2nd place, previously in 1st, getting pushed back, we have Mabel Liquor Store with 1,643,000 points, 643,255 points actually. And in 1st place, previously in 2nd, only about 2,000 points ahead. Jumping into 1st, we have Poppers in Virginia with 1,665,140 points. Good job to all of our locations in those standings, and good job to all of those players supporting your locations and helping them get into that top 10. But we do have a couple winners. We got Double Trouble over at Mabel Liquor Store and Loin over at Woody's Bar and Woody's Bar and Grill. They was putting up that $17 large frame prize. But we've moved over to a Musco coverall, and there we go. We got none other than everyone's favorite Jim Croce song, Big John, over at Iron House Bar and Grill, taking home $26 on that Musco coverall prize. Good job, Big John. We appreciate you holding open that mine. It definitely is some awesome stuff. But we are going on to this next game of Skull Bingo. It's going to start this enrollment screen in just a second. Make sure you guys are getting enrolled and pressing play. You guys have about a minute and 30 seconds left to do so. Make sure you guys are ready, because these prizes are going to be insane for you guys. But while you guys are getting enrolled, we do have a little bit of wild news to get into, and it's some pretty interesting stuff that we're going to be looking at. We're currently looking at our goalie, who is Marc-Andre Fleury. Fleury is locked up for another 2 years for a total contract value of $7 million and a $3.5 million average annual value. The future Hall of Fame goaltender was decent enough in the regular season for the Wild, posting a .910 save percentage and a 2.72 goals against average. He was locked in the playoff series against the Blues, and despite conceding the final start of the series to Talbot, at times was the only thing keeping the Wild in the game. He's a special player, has had a remarkable career, and he's still got some tread on those tires. But there are some warning signs that are popping up. He's 37, will be turning 38 in November, and is already 7th on the all-time games played list for goaltenders with 939 games played. By the end of the season, he will likely eclipse Curtis Joseph, Ed Belfour, and Terry Sawchuk. Barring injuries means only Martin Brodeur, Roberto Luongo, and Patrick Roy will be having had more games played in their career. Definitely some awesome stuff. We're actually going to look up the goaltenders who had the most games played in their career. So let's check that out. All right, goaltenders with most games played. Yeah, starting us off for those goaltenders with the most save, it is Martin Brodeur at first with 1,266 games played. Next up, Roberto Luongo, 1,044. Next up, Patrick Roy, 1,029. And then Terry Sawchuk at 971. Definitely some crazy stuff. Yeah, let's see what else we have. And then right smack after that, we have right after that is Curtis Joseph. And at 7th is Marc-Andre Fleury, with only like Glenn Hall and a couple goalies behind him. Definitely some awesome stuff. Good job to Marc-Andre Fleury sticking around for all those games. But we do have a winner on this game. It's Krista Jr. over at B&L Bar, taking home $12 on that Lion prize. Good job, Krista Jr., as we start working for this $34,900 large frame prize. But as you guys know, we have teamed up with the Minnesota Wild for the ETAB game Let's Go Wild. You guys can play that today at your favorite Minnesota bar and check out that slap shot bonus round. It's definitely a blast, and like all of our other ETABs, it's got that 85% payout, so it's definitely something you guys want to be checking out. Definitely some awesome stuff. But we are going to a little bit of a fishing report as you guys are working for this this large frame and this coverall prize, and we're checking in with International Falls, Rainy Lake, and the Rainy River, and this is by Explore Minnesota, recorded on August 4th, 2022, so just a couple days ago. According to Voyagers National Park staff, water levels had receded enough to lift the no-wake restriction on Rainy Lake within the park on Friday, July 29th. As a precaution and courtesy, park staff encouraged all boaters to reduce their wake when traveling near any docks or infrastructure to minimize further challenges related to flood recovery. Areas of Rainy Lake outside of the park within a certain county continue to have no-wake restrictions effective through August 5th. With lower water levels, the placement of all hazard markers throughout the Rainy Lake basin of the park had been completed. Definitely some awesome stuff. Make sure you guys are paying attention with that, with the no-wake zones and everything like that. Don't want to mess up another Fisherman's Day. But yeah, make sure you guys are keeping that in mind if you guys are going fishing around that area. But we still have balls dropping on this game of Skull Bingo. We've moved over to coverall prize for both our large frame and our Musco. As you guys can see, we got that large frame going out to Krista Jr. over at B&L Bar, taking home that $19 large frame prize. We got a couple players going after this $29 Musco coverall, including X-Tina, who is only one ball away, as well as Big John and MCS. Definitely some awesome stuff. But there we go. We have our winner. It is none other than Kim Don over at Dodge Country Club, taking home $29 on that Musco coverall prize. Definitely some awesome stuff. Good job to all of our players taking home wins in that game. But I will be taking a quick break for these next couple games, and I'll see you guys in just a sec.
We're at the Ledge Amphitheater in White Park, Minnesota.
I saw the Blues Brothers 2 years ago with these guys.
Blues Brothers 2 years ago was a lot of fun. Prior to that, it was the Beach Boys, and with John Stamos, it was awesome.
I have never been to a PyCon event before. This is my first time, and I am loving it.
Yeah, this is incredible. We pulled in, parked, got some free beers, amazing free food.
Famous Days! Hey everyone, Famous Dave here, smoking up the best ribs in America.
Having a great time so far. We got a picture with John Randall. It's pretty awesome.
John Randall is like my favorite.
Skol, 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 baby!
Really cool seeing John Creasel. Really cool listening to him talking his story.
This is my first PyCon, and I've had a blast.
Willie is my favorite.
I'm excited for Willie Nelson.
I grew up listening to Willie Nelson my whole life.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson! Have a really nice day!
The entertainment, the people watching, cocktails, t-shirts.
Drink and eat and be with everybody.
Fabulous experience. Either way, I don't know why you would miss this. That's all I gotta say.
He said we're making sure to come every year.
Get your butt here, man. Get your butt here.
past weekend, we ended up giving out 9 jackpots over the weekend, and that is an awesome, awesome weekend in Season 12, and I can't wait to talk about these winners.
Oh, yeah, but the first one that went out on Friday went out to Rondo over at Patrick's on 3rd, taking home $845.10.
Nicely done. Next up, we had Gio on Friday over at Bleachers, taking home $1,195.
Yeah, good job. We also had Hooey over at Outtakes, taking home $1,120.
That's right, and then Saturday got started off right with the largest jackpot of the weekend, going out to Bliss over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards, taking home $6,175.
Then we had Why Not Me Q over at Boulder Tap House Rochester, taking home $924.
Nicely done. And then finishing out Saturday, we had Teresa Jim over at Chanticleer Pizza Maple Grove, taking home $765.
Well, to start off Sunday, we had Betty over at Manana Hilltop Tavern, taking home $3,789.
Nicely done. Next up, we had Rox Jim over at Adagio's, taking home $886.
Yeah, and the final jackpot of these lovely 9 jackpots we gave out was Vicky over at Ottertail Supper Club, taking home $1,822. And make sure you guys come out for our live bingo that runs from 12 all the way till 10 o'clock, 7 days a week. We love giving out these jackpots, and hopefully we can see your name get added to this list. Hey guys, and we love our Twins bingo that runs during lunchtime from 12 to 1 every single day. And we have a crazy standings with all those players that have been earning points during that lunchtime.
Absolutely, so hopping right into the player standings. In 10th place, we got Juicy Loser over at VFW Columbia Heights with 30,000 points. Then in 9th, we got T-Bone over at Poppers with 33,000, but with 44,000 points. In 8th place, we have Caribou over at Cooper's Restaurant. 7th place sits with Tez over at Poppers with 46,000, but with 71,000 points. In 6th place, it's Red at American Legion Fridley. 5th place sits with Nan over at Corky's Bar in South Haven with 76,000 points. Then in 4th place, it's Mikey Wins over at Steve-O's with 81,000 points. But with 84,000 points, right ahead of him in third place, it's Sinbob over at Corky's Bar in South Haven. Second place sits with Grub-Eye over at VFW Blaine with 93,000. And then with 94,000 in first place, it is Loser Dave.
Yeah, definitely a great player standings. But into the location side, in 10th place, we got Roosevelt Bar in Eveleth with 33,000 points. With 35,000 points in 9th place, we got the Floppy Crappie over Pokegama Township. 8th place is Miniger's Sports Hub in La Crescent with 45,000 points. With 62,000 points in 7th place, we got Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards in Coon Rapids. 6th place is our place on 3rd and Faribault with 63,000 points. With 105,000 points in 5th place, we got VFW Blaine. 4th place is Poppers in Virginia with 121,000 points. With 140,000 points in 3rd place, we got Corky's Bar South Haven. 2nd place is American Legion Fridley with 214,000 points. And with 227,000 points in 1st place, we got VFW Spring Lake Park.
That's some pretty impressive stuff already for the season 12. Well, make sure you guys are coming out from 12 to 1, whether it be that Twins Bingo or Vikings Bingo, and try your hand at the Twiking Zone.
Hey guys, what is going on? We are back for this next game of Skull Bingo. We have just about a minute left to get enrolled, so make sure you guys are getting enrolled and pressing play because these prizes are going to be crazy for this next game. But we did have a couple winners in these last couple of games while I was gone, and actually kicking us off in that game number 18, we had that line win go out to Duke Coop over at Moe's and Hockaday over at Port 507 Bar, winning $11. Next up on that large frame, we had Kramer over at Wild Bill Sports Saloon, winning $18. And on that coverall prize, we had Grandpa Bob over at Wildwood Tavern, winning $28 on that one. Good job to all those winners in round 18. But on that round 19, we had that line prize go out to Kramer over at Wild Bill Sports Saloon, winning $344. Definitely some awesome stuff. Good job to you, Kramer, taking home the 4th line prize for the night. Definitely some awesome stuff. Next up, we had that large frame going out to Hockaday over at Port 507 Bar, winning $24. And last up was that coverall going out to LIIMJN over at Westside Tavern, winning $37 on that coverall. Good job to all of our winners in that game, on those games. But we have balls dropping on this next game of Skull Bingo. We got that $174 line prize, that $15 large frame prize, and that $48,360 coverall coverall prize. Definitely some awesome stuff, but we're gonna have to look and wait a sec to see where that line prize is at. But we have S&S over at VFW Blaine, taking home $9 on that line prize. Good job to S&S. But just a reminder that when you guys are playing pilot games, to share those pictures with us. We love to see those pictures and to see your guys' faces. So if you guys want a jackpot, hold your iPad up and let us see your happy face holding that jackpot message. You guys can send us pictures of you guys playing or with your friends or even your favorite bartender. You guys can share your pictures on Facebook or by emailing them to us directly at jackpots@pilotgames.com. And you can even put them up on any of your social media with the hashtag pilotgames, and we'll be able to pick it up from there. So make sure you guys are taking some player pictures and sending them in. We love to see them. But we still have balls dropping on this game of Skull Bingo. Still going after this $15 large frame and this $48,360 or coverall prize. Definitely make sure you guys are ready because these are going to go by super quickly. And we're looking at a little bit of Vikings news, and we're looking at 3 safety packages. As of this writing, first round draft pick Lewis Cine hasn't been made a starting safety yet. For now, the returning Cameron Bynum is holding down the spot next to Harrison Smith and might stay there for a while as the rookie grows and develops. While that might be disappointing to some, it doesn't mean that there are no plans for their top pick. In fact, the Purple and Gold have been working with some defensive sets that feature all 3 of those safeties on the field at the same time by moving Cine down into the box. As Cine continues to adjust to the NFL level and learn what is expected of him by Minnesota, he will inch closer to the starting role that he will eventually have. It seems like only a matter of time until he is in that position. In the meantime, it's great that the Minnesota Vikings coaching staff trusts Lewis Cine enough to use him in different roles on defense. When he was drafted, the general manager and coach praised his versatility, and fans are already starting to see a little of that early in training camp. Definitely some awesome stuff, but here we go. We got Ricky over at B&L Bar taking home that large frame prize, taking home $15. Good job to you, Ricky, as we start working for this $23 must-go coverall prize. Definitely some awesome stuff, but we had that large frame actually go out in that last round before I joined back on round 20. That line prize in that round 20 went out to Drew Wren over at Red Best, winning $13. And that large frame jackpot went out to none other than Loin over at Woody's Bar and Grill, winning $35,071. Definitely some awesome stuff. Good job to you, Loin, taking home some good money. But here we go. We got Ricky over at B&O Bar and Wazinamo over at Bay Street Grill and Pub, though he's putting up that $23 must-go coverall prize. Definitely some good stuff on that game of Skull Bingo as we start getting ready for the next one. But good job again to Loin over at Woody's Bar and Grill, winning that $35,071. Definitely some awesome stuff. So sad that I actually missed that. That is some very sad stuff. Good job to Loin and all of our winners in that game 20 of Skull Bingo. We just finished up game number 21, and we're getting ready for game number 22. Definitely some awesome stuff. But as you guys know, we have teamed up with the Minnesota Vikings for the E-Tab game, Vikings Victory. It's one of your guys' favorite, and you guys can pick a letter in that skull bonus to win some big prizes. Definitely some awesome stuff. Make sure you're checking out Vikings Victory, as well as all of our other awesome E-Tab games. But currently, you guys are earning points for our happy hour standings. We haven't been able to update them since our last Thursday, but we do have all those point totals. We have everything laid out for you guys, but we will be updating them as soon as possible. But starting us off in 10th place, before we gave out that $100,000 jackpot, we had in 10th place a 3-way tie between Wolfstein over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards, Crazy Kid over at the Tasty Pizza Hangar 45, and Jay Surma over at Grumpy's Bar and Grill Roseville. In 7th place, we had another 3-way tie between Dustball 75 over at Charlie Sports Bar and Grill, Tesla over at Friends Bar and Restaurant, and Kirby, who's over at American Legion Fridley. In 6th place, though, we have Lucky Ride, who's over at South Street Saloon. 5th place, we have Chica, who's over at Willie McCoy's of Andover. In 4th place, we have Billany over at BFW Blaine. 3rd place, it's Olars over at Anamia Vets Club. 2nd place, we have Brother Nate over at Carboni's Pizza and Sports Bar Burnsville. And in 1st place, pretty decent lead, and may still be in 1st place after these updating standings, we have Funk, who's over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards. They had about an 18,000 point lead before we started this little break. Really, pardon me, sorry about that. But on the location side of things, it's the same dealio. But before we get into that, we do have balls dropping on this game of Skull Bingo. We got that $12 line prize, $188 large frame prize, and that $48,428 coverall prize. So make sure you guys are ready. These prizes are going to go by super quickly. But on the location side of things in our happy hour standings, in 10th place, it's Dugout Bar and Grill in Bethel. 8th place, it's a 2-way tie between the Barrel House Bar and Cafe in Coon Rapids and Willie McCoy's of Andover. Before we continue with 7th place, we have B-Vac over at Knitsky's, taking home $12 on that line prize. Good job as we start working for this $188 large frame prize. But continuing with these standings, in 7th place, we have Carboni's Pizza and Sports Bar Burnsville. 6th place, it's VFW Blaine. In 5th place, we have Tasty Pizza Hangar 45 in Hilltop. 4th place, it's American Legion Fridley. In 3rd place, we have VFW Spring Lake Park. In second place, it's Anamia Vets Club in Anamia. And in first place, holding on to that spot still, we have Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards in Coon Rapids with an almost 40,000 point lead. And that's before we continue, before we add everything that we have for these past week. Definitely some awesome stuff. We might be seeing our first place location and players still staying in their spots. Not too sure though. These locations and players could be anywhere in these standings right now. But we will be updating those as soon as possible. And you guys will be the first to know. Don't worry. But continuing on in this game, we still have balls dropping. It looks like we might be moving to a must-go for this large frame prize. Hopefully we can get that. We have a couple players 3 balls away, but it's not looking like we're going to be able to get it. We'll be moving on to a $20 large frame, but we still have that $48,428 coverall prize. We got 4 balls left until that one is gone for the game. But we do have some celebrity birthdays to kind of take your time a little bit. It's starting us off, born way back in 1930. We have Neil Armstrong, American X-15 pilot and an astronaut, first man on the moon for the Gemini 8 mission on Apollo 11. Definitely some awesome stuff. But there we go. We got Doogie over at Lucy's Burgers Blaine taking home $20 on that large frame prize. Definitely some awesome stuff. As we start working for this $30 must-go coverall prize, we got Marty only 1 ball away, as well as Tweeter, Krista Jr., and Joe RG. Definitely some awesome stuff. We'll see if we can hand that out here soon. But in the meantime, and next up on our celebrity birthday list, we have born in 1937, Herb Brooks, American ice hockey coach, won the Olympic gold medal in 1980. You guys know as Miracle on Ice, he was played by Kurt Russell. Definitely some awesome stuff. But there we go. We got CEO over at Mick's office taking home $30 on that must-go coverall prize. Good job to CEO and all of our winners in that game 22 of Skull Bingo. As we start getting ready for game number 23. That's right, this is going to be the last game of Skull Bingo. So make sure you guys are getting enrolled. Make sure you guys are pressing play. Make sure you guys are grabbing anything that's lucky for you guys. And make sure you guys are ready because these prizes are going to be awesome for this next round. Pardon me, but next up on our celebrity birthdays, we have born in 1937, Rick Derringer. Born Zeringer, American guitarist, songwriter, known for working with the McCoys, for Hang on the Sloopy, and for his solo work for Rock and Roll and Hoochie Coo. And was a producer for Edgar Winter, Johnny Winter, as well as Weird Al Yankovic. Definitely some awesome stuff. Happy birthday to Rick Derringer, born in 1947. Next up on our celebrity birthdays, born in 1956, we have Maureen McCormick, American actress known for playing Marcia in The Brady Bunch. Definitely some awesome stuff. Next up, though, born in 1962, we have Patrick Ewing, Jamaican-American NBA center, played for the New York Knicks, and won the Olympic gold in 1992. Happy birthday to Patrick Ewing, and yeah, congrats on that Olympic gold. Definitely some awesome stuff. But as you guys can see, we have just about 30 seconds left to be getting enrolled. Make sure you guys are getting enrolled and pressing play. This is going to be the last game of Skull Bingo for this happy hour broadcast. But after this game and that next game of Lucky 4 Bingo, you guys are getting 4 hours uninterrupted tonight going after all these awesome prizes. We have handed out that large frame and that line prize that line prize is handed out like 4 times by now, but that ball count is going to be the same thing. That line prize you can take home in 10 balls or less. That large frame prize you'll be able to take home in 43 balls or less, and that coverall prize, no matter what it's at, you guys can take that home in 50 balls or less. But here we go. We are getting into this last game of Skull Bingo. We got balls starting to drop. Let's see what this line, large frame, and coverall prizes are going to be at. And let's see, they should be popping up right here. $185 line prize, $218 large frame, and that coverall prize is at $48,444. That's a lot of 4s. That seems very lucky to me. Make sure you guys are ready for this next game. But we do have a couple more celebrity birthdays for you guys, and this one is a pretty fun one. Born in 1964, we got MCA, born Adam Yauch, American rap rock vocalist, known for work with Beastie Boys. You gotta fight for your right to party. Definitely some awesome stuff. But we got BVAC over at Knitsky's taking home that line prize, which was sitting at $184. Good job to you, BVAC, making that the 5th line prize of the night. Thank you guys for making this an awesome night. These have been a ton of prizes we've been handing out. Very successful Skull Bingo night. We're still going after that large frame prize of $218 as we continue with our celebrity birthdays. Next up, born in 1967, we have Reid Hoffman, American entrepreneur, co-founder of LinkedIn. Definitely some pretty cool stuff. That's awesome. Next up, though, before we continue with these standings, gotta take a quick drink of water. Next up, though, on our celebrity birthdays, born in 1970, we have James Gunn, American filmmaker. You guys might know him for his work with Guardians of the Galaxy, probably one of my favorite Marvel movies that are out there. But last up, and an awesome celebrity birthday, you guys all know him fairly well. Born in 2001, that's right, this guy's younger than I am. We have Anthony Edwards, known as Ant-Man, American NBA player, plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Ian's stat prediction for this next season is crazy. Ian is suggesting that he's going to have 29 points per game, 4 rebounds a game, and 7 assists per game. Definitely some awesome stuff. He kind of has him almost, at least he doesn't have him like getting triple doubles every night or something like that. That'd be some crazy stuff. But yeah, happy birthday to you, Anthony Edwards. Definitely some awesome stuff. Born in 2001. Definitely some awesome stuff. We have moved over to his $17 large frame prize, but we still have that coverall, but we're going to have to get it in this ball right here. Can we get it? Not looking like it, but we got that large frame going out to Fredbear43 over at Slipper Inn, taking home $17 on that large frame prize. Good job to both those, to Fredbear, taking home that large frame as we start working on this $26 must-go coverall prize. But we do have some awesome stuff. We have a couple players, only 2 balls away with CEO, Jen B, and Fredbear. Let's see if we can get this out before ball 62. Let's see, can we get it? Dang, I was hoping, but it will be going out here soon. But yeah, happy birthday to all of our celebrities on that celebrity birthday list. But we do have a couple winners on this must-go coverall prize. We got Gibbs over at Shooter's Saloon and Eatery. We got Boris over at the Bar Le Sueur, and Verge over at Dino's Eden Lakeside. They'll be splitting up that $26 must-go coverall prize. Definitely some awesome stuff, but that's not all, you guys. We are going to be getting into this last game of Lucky 4 Bingo. Make sure you guys are getting ready. It's going to be some awesome stuff. We have over $26,000 in prizes on this game, so make sure you guys are getting enrolled and pressing play. It's definitely going to be some awesome stuff. But continuing, we had these celebrity birthdays. We had Neil Armstrong, Herb Brooks, Rick Derringer, Maureen McCormick, Patrick Ewing, MCA, born as Adam Yauch, Reed Hoffman, James Gunn, and Anthony Edwards. Definitely an awesome celebrity birthday list. But before I let you guys go, we got a little bit of our Twiking Zone standings to get into, so you guys know where you guys are standing tomorrow. In 10th place, we have Juicy Loser over at VFW Columbia Heights. 9th place is T-Bone over at Poppers. In 8th place, we have none other than Caribou over at Cooper's Restaurant. In 7th place is Tez over at Poppers. In 6th place, we have Red over at American Legion Fridley. 5th place, Nan over at Corky's Bar South Haven. In 4th place, it's Mikey Wins over at Steve-O's. In 3rd place, it's Sinbob over at Corky's Bar South Haven. 2nd place, it's Scrub Eye over at VFW Blaine. And in 1st place, it's Loser Dave over at VFW Spring Lake Park. Good job to all of our players in those top 10. Definitely kicking things off right. But on the location side of things, in 10th place, it's Roosevelt Bar in Eveleth. 9th place, Floppy Crappie over at Palkagama Township. In 8th place, we have Miniger Sports Hub in La Crescent. 7th place, Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards in Coon Rapids. In 6th place, we have Our Place on 3rd in Faribault. 5th place, VFW Blaine. 4th place, it's Poppers in Virginia. 3rd place, it's Corky's Bar South Haven. 2nd place, American Legion Fridley. And in 1st place of these Twiking Zone standings, we have VFW Spring Lake Park. Good job to all of our locations and those players playing at them. But we do have 5 seconds left to get enrolled. Make sure you guys are getting ready and press and play. We have over $26,000 on this jackpot. And here we go. We have balls starting to drop on this game. Let's see where we are standing. But we're going to talk about a couple movies that were released today in history. In 1994, we got The Little Rascals, definitely some awesome stuff. In 1998, Halloween H2O, 20 years later. And in 2016, Suicide Squad. That one was okay. But here we go. We got balls dropping on this game. We are going after this mini jackpot. We are in line for it too. In fact, a little ahead. Let's see. We're going to have to be perfect from here on out. We got Woo, Jack, and a couple other players. There we go. We had Dad and Kara. So close, but we are moving on to a $4 must-go prize. We have Dad and Kara over at VFW Fergus Falls. Woo, Tracy, Jack, and Gibbs, all only 2 balls away. Make sure you guys are paying attention. This stuff is going to go by super quickly. But while we're going after this, we have the most important part of our broadcast. It is our player spotlight. And we're currently spotlighting Bliss, who is playing over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards when they took home the jackpot of $6,175. And everyone that plays at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards supports the awesome charity, the Competition Cheer Spirit Booster Club. Their mission statement is to support the competition cheer in the Coon Rapids area. Definitely some awesome stuff and an awesome charity. It really goes all full circle to everything that we say at the end of our broadcast. But before we talk about that awesome stuff, we had JL Andy, only one ball away, a couple players joining them. Let's see if we can hand this must-go out here soon. A lot of players still only one ball away. I have a guess that it's going to G52. But that seems to be my guess just about every Lucky 4 bingo. I feel like it's a lucky one. I don't know why, but it's just lucky. But we still have balls dropping on this game. It is crazy. We are still going after this must-go. I have a feeling that we're going to have a couple players splitting up this $4 because it is some crazy stuff that we're still going for it. Dang. Whew, definitely some awesome stuff. But yeah, make sure you guys are paying attention to what bars that support which charities. Definitely some awesome stuff. Definitely something to keep in mind to support which bars that you guys want to go to. And I hope you guys are keeping that in mind when you're picking your bars. But we do have Schlief, Jorg splitting up, and Gibbs, as well as JL Andy. We have 8, 12, 65, and 69 for those 4 lucky numbers. But you guys have just about 2 minutes left to be getting enrolled into these 4 hours of Skull Bingo. Make sure you guys are getting enrolled, press and play. Make sure you guys are having a blast. Make sure you keep in mind that when you guys are playing at these bars, you're supporting an awesome charity. So just keep in mind that whenever you guys are playing Pilot games, your community wins. Take care and have a great weekend.
Hey guys, over the past weekend we ended up giving out 9 jackpots over the weekend, and that is an awesome weekend in Season 12, and I can't wait to talk about these winners.
Oh yeah, but the first one that went out on Friday went out to Rondo over at Patrick's on 3rd, taking home $845.10.
Nicely done. Next up we had Gio on Friday over at Bleachers, taking home $1,195.
Yeah, good job. We also had Hooey over at Outtakes, taking home $1,120.
That's right, and then Saturday got started off right with the largest jackpot of the weekend, going out to Bliss over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards, taking home $6,175.
Then we had Why Not Me Q over at Boulder Tap House Rochester, taking home $924.
Nicely done. And then finishing out Saturday, we had Teresa Jim over at Chanticleer Pizza Maple Grove, taking home $765.
Well, to start off Sunday, we had Betty over at Manana Hilltop Tavern, taking home $3,789.
Nicely done. Next up, we had Rock's Gym over at Adagio's, taking home $886.
Yeah, and the final jackpot of these lovely 9 jackpots we gave out was Vicky over at Ottertail Supper Club, taking home $1,822. And make sure you guys come out for our live bingo that runs from 12 all the way till 10 o'clock, 7 days a week. We love giving out these jackpots, and hopefully we can see your name get added to this list.